Well, what's good, my AMC family? I know we had a red day, but as you can tell, I'm not really affected emotionally, right? I still look at it like a good day. Hope you're having a good one too, because the more I learn and the more I educate myself, right, on the stock market, the cooler and calmer and more collected I am, right? All right. So, yeah, today I do have some information I want to point out to you today, right? If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share them, all that good stuff, right? We can only go up from here, right? Uh, Thinking of this as a positive thing always, all right? Because I love coming back here to y'all every day, right? To give you the most current information that I got as far as for like AMC and Lucid and other crypto coins and stuff that I like to talk about. But today's video will be mostly about AMC because the stock market was pretty choppy today, right? A lot of volatility, especially with the SPY. It's been going on for a couple of days now. Just real quick, remember that I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice, right? Don't take it as that. I'm just a guy on YouTube who likes to talk about stocks, right? So, yeah. So for all the AMC people, guys, like I'm gonna give you some info, and before you freak out, right? Because I am gonna say that you got to be in this for the long run at this point, right? At least I am personally, because now, most of my shares, even though, I try to buy, a few shares here and there, most of my shares, I would say 80, 90% of them are already in the long-term capital gains bracket, all right? So my position is set, it's parked, it's not going anywhere, but mentally, I'm trying to prepare y'all too that we do have some catalysts coming up, but we don't know the time frame on this. We don't know how much longer this is going to take. It could take another, week. It could take another 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It could take up to a year. Hey, I don't have that crystal magic ball. I don't know. I'm not a future teller, fortune teller, right? I can't tell exactly what's going to happen. But with the data that I have collected and I do have available to me, guys, that's where I get my conviction from. And it just makes more sense that this will happen at some point than it's not going to happen, right? I believe that it will happen at some point. Cool. So just I'm trying to mentally prepare y'all too. All right. So yeah, let's jump into some things. All right. And if you're celebrating 420, happy 420, right? Of course. Let's switch it up. I'm gonna start off with something that I caught in the pre-market last night. All right. So I noticed this was pretty. I like to watch the pre-market, right? I stay up at that time here where I live. So I just watch it for like 20, 30 minutes and see kind of like where the volume is and if there's any action, right? For AMC, right? When they talk about the stock price and they're like, AMC can't go that high. And then the AMC, right? Like Snoop Dogg, it can go high, all right? So let me show you. These are just screenshots, guys, of Webull level 2 data, right? So you're telling me that AMC, it can't reach these prices. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna hit these prices, but I can show you what is happening sometimes in the pre-market, and I believe it's the institutions that are doing this, right? I don't think it's necessarily retail that are putting in these sell orders right now, right? So in the pre-market, I took it at 2:13 right a.m. and you see a $70,000 ask, right, for each share. And then it gets even crazier, guys. Let's pull this one up. Boom. Like I said, I can't promise you. I don't know if it's gonna go to these levels, but 100K, right? What the hell? What is all this stuff? That's what I always wonder. Like, how come these things pop up? And then it's funny because the shareholders and with the DD and the price targets that have come out in the past. Uh, yeah, so I don't know where the other, maybe it's this one. Yeah, okay, so another one at 2:12 a.m., right? 70K. This was just last night, all right? Cool. So I wanted to point that out. That's why remember that a short position, guys, they do not have a time limit. That's why we don't know how long this is going to take, all right? But we have this data available to us, what I'm going to break down for you guys right here in this next part, all right? So I'm always trying to educate, right, as much as I can and show you the numbers. So right now, this was, as of today, 101.42 million shares on loan, right? Shorting a stock. Here we go. You can maintain the short position, meaning hold on to the borrowed shares for as long as you need, whether that's a few hours, a few weeks. Just remember you're paying interest on those borrowed shares for as long as you hold them, and you'll need to maintain the margin requirements throughout the period too, right? So while you're holding that, there's always a fee, right? So just remember that. And the thing is, You can hold the borrowed shares for as long as you keep doing this. All right. So that's why the hedgies have been able to just keep this going and going and going. This is where I got my data from, Guru Focus. This is the most recent where institutional ownership, right? 32% as of March 31st, 166 million. I just rounded it up to 166 million because Fintel was showing 187 million and 36%, right, of what institutions own of the float, right? Now, I did this quick little math that I want to show you guys, but basically, right, I did it off this calculation. So calculating the stock float, a company ABC has 100,000 shares outstanding. 5,000 are held by the insiders, the employees, CEOs, whatever, right? 95,000 shares are left, supposedly, right? And then the institutional impact. You have 100,000 shares that are outstanding. 5,000 are held by institutions, so you're subtracting 40,000 held by institution. You're subtracting, so you're left with 55 in the float, right? That's basically what would be tradable, right? Like say for retail investors. All right, so I want to point all this out because I've got my own chart here. It's just a calculation, guys, right? Just to keep you up to date. Today's date, 4/20. Shares outstanding off of Webull, right? I got this information. So not the free flow right here, but just right here. So I'm going to break this down. The free flow, 516. And I'm using that calculation that I just showed you, right? Institutional ownership, I took the 166 million. And then insider ownership. So you're going to take the 516.78 million, subtract the 2.12 million, you get this number, 514 million, and then you subtract what the institutions are supposedly holding right now, 187 million, right? So subtracted that, now you're left with 348 million of the free float of what's supposed to be, tradable, right? And out there and I'm talking about like, since they did the offering and they added these shares, right? So back from last year. And then what I want to point out here is like this is what keeps my conviction here and strong and willing to hold to see this to the end because of these numbers. When you divide it by the 4 million shareholders, that means that an average shareholder would own about 87 shares, right? That's way too low in my opinion from what I've seen. I personally have a lot more shares than that, right? So I know that there's people out there that have thousands of shares and whatnot. And so we're here. And I know that like I look at the chat rooms, Reddit, Twitter, stock twits, everything, right? To see where Webull chat room, to see where people are at, right? And it's the same. People are here. We're not leaving. Cool. Okay. So I still believe we have about 4 million shareholders, maybe a little less. But the average is so low, right? So in my opinion, that means that there is synthetic shares out there, right? Obviously, right? According to this, I'm going off of this. And so that proves to me that there is fake shares out there. Okay. So that's another reason why I want to hold. And then the 101, million shares that are on loan right now from the short, that is from the institutions that they're the ones, see, they own about 166 million. So this is probably Vanguard and BlackRock. They're lending most of these out, right? Over and over, just washing them over and over. That way they can make money on the side. And then you have Webull saying that the free float is 515, but that's not necessarily true in my opinion. I'm going to go off this is the free float, right? Because that's what the apes are able to buy and hold, okay? And that's why buy and hold is the way, okay? That's why did that start, right? What was the whole thing with buy and hold? That's because of this right here, right? Because the shorts do not have a time limit and it costs us nothing just to hold the stock, but it costs them money to hold their short position. Okay, that's why buy and hold came upon us. Okay, so I wanted to break that information down for you guys. Yep, that's the most current Ortex data that I could find today. And then we got the chart, right? So when we look at the chart, I mean, it's looking to me like a setup, right? When I look at these descending triangles here, the setup is the same. The moves are almost identical. The only thing I cannot really tell is if we're right here or if we're right here, right? According to this right here, because you have the run up, the test that got rejected, came down, but it never broke the hard support line from the bottom, right? When you take this line all the way up, it hasn't broken that. It bounced off of it right there. Support, really rallied there. And there's a reason why, right? Because this is the top, right? Look at this. It goes all the way back to these dates. So right here in this, when it broke here, right, it even got rejected, came down, and that's when we exploded. So that's crazy to me that it's looking identical, because if it just repeats itself, right, we're gonna be somewhere in this range. Okay. This is what I would expect. I don't know when, the whole talk about like June, maybe July time, right? Right now. So let's do a little poly, because if it's the same move, then you're gonna see something like this comes back down, and then this would be a really hard support to break too. So I might trade here for a little bit, but if it comes back and it starts going, I think we're gonna see new all-time highs, right? Let's hit enter here. Let's make it green, right? So that's, as an ape, as a bullish investor in AMC, that I don't care about the time frame, guys. In my mind, that's gone. Doesn't matter. We've been holding a year and a half, or whatever. I'm holding for the squeeze, right? Because when they pay those shares back, that's what's going to cause this thing. Plus the synthetics, plus the FOMO, plus depending where the options chain is, right? But that's what I'm looking at right here, guys. This same exact pattern, right? Comes back down, up, down, comes to the end of the triangle, and it blasts off, right? And then it just consolidates. It's a bull flag, and then the rip. Okay. See down here, same thing. Bull flag comes down, bounces, and it runs. So that's why, that's why I stay positive about this. All we need to see is the volume come in, and we gone. But mentally, guys, you have to remember that there is no time limit. There's no certain date like when they have to close. It's just about market conditions. It's about margin. It's about, right. And at least we're not dealing with what Netflix is dealing with right now. I mean, they have been going down since around the same time, guys. But look, it's down 35% on the day. And this is a daily chart, but this all started back in November, and it was at $700. Currently, it's at, I think, $227 right now, guys. That would be just, if you held through this, right? If you're a Netflix investor, oof, that's brutal, right? So for us, they were down 35%, AMC was down 7%, and the whole market was pretty choppy today, right? Even the SPY, can look at the SPY real quick, but it rallied a little bit, but it still hasn't passed this again, right? It could be just a fake out, the same as these. Although you do have the super trend that flipped right here, right? The green. So it's gonna, come test this area here soon, the 448, 450 level. But as far as like the shorts, I think they're in trouble, guys, right? Because it's not just AMC. You got GameStop, BBIG, all the meme stocks that are out there that are heavily shorted. And it's just, money's going to get more expensive. These positions are going to get more expensive for these guys to hold, all right? Yeah, so I think that's all I got for you guys today. I just wanted to, update you for the day, get you what you need to know, and hopefully help you, build and hold that conviction, to hold that conviction of diamond hands, guys, that this is not over, that, nothing has really changed. We're set. My position is locked. I'm adding when I can. And I think this is going to happen here soon, right? Even though it could last another year, it could. I don't think that's going to happen personally, right? But yeah, there's other YouTubers, right, that are saying out there that we are just getting attacked by bots, right? So when you see these negative titles on AMC, that's when they come out and stuff like that. So not that my title is going to be super negative or is, but I just want to explain, why I'm doing this, and stay focused, guys. All we need to do is just wait now for them to close out these positions, and that's what I believe will happen. All right, so I'm not a financial advisor, just my opinion, guys. All right, so do what you want to do with your money, but I just need to be. That's why I'm here for you guys, just to provide the information. All right, cool. So make your own decisions, and catch you guys later. Have a good day.